Hello, I'm Katie Harrop and I'm going to walk you through the road to success with EyeDream, the UK's most popular ortho-K system. 3 steps to becoming successful with EyeDream are: number 1, choosing a topographer; number 2, the EyeDream accreditation process; and number 3, fitting EyeDream with confidence. What is EyeDream Ortho-K? It's the UK's leading ortho-K design and has been available since 2005. It's fitted empirically from your patient's topography, their prescription, and their corneal diameter. It's an empirical system which allows you to use your clinical skills for patient care. So that means that you can concentrate on the things that you're really good at, which are slit lamp examination, managing complications, and really importantly, communicating with the patient about the process, what to expect, and what the outcomes might be. The design is on us. That means that we're calculating the complex reverse geometry curves for these lenses rather than you needing to be an expert in this area. So there is no steep learning curve and you get confidence from the start. So here are some numbers associated with EyeDream. We have over 350 EyeDream centres in the UK and Ireland. There are over 30,000 happy patients. And 75% of patients will stay with EyeDream for over 5 years. And we've seen 15% growth in new EyeDream patients year on year. So for over 15 years, EyeDream has had a profound and positive effect on thousands of lives, whether it's the wow factor when the lenses are removed for the first time. And this is my favourite bit of fitting EyeDream lenses, is that moment when the patient is able to take those lenses out and see for the first time, unaided. And for some patients that could be many years. In fact, this is one of the aspects that I love the most when fitting adults for vision correction, because for some of those patients it's a very long time since they've seen clearly unaided. It could be the sense of freedom it gives. That's the freedom to swim, to do other sports, to get grubby, to be a tree surgeon without having to worry about your contact lenses at all and worry about water in your eyes or grit in your eyes, or really just think about vision correction at all. It could be the peace of mind offered by myopia management. So Ortho-K has been around much longer than myopia management contact lenses in general, because it was really just designed in the first place as a vision correction option. It is a complete happy coincidence that the post-Ortho-K topography gives us the optics that we now believe control axial length growth, so that peripheral blur. And as I said, just a very happy coincidence, but one that is very effective for myopia management. And it also offers benefits for you as a practice owner. It offers differentiation on a very competitive high street. And a fantastic way to attract new patients. So that could be through your advertising and social media, or it could be through word of mouth and recommendation from existing patients. And it's a proven modality for patient retention. So the EyeDream Care Plan combines differentiation and loyalty with profitability for a winning recipe. So the EyeDream Care Plan has been designed to limit the upfront costs. Your outgoing payments to us are aligned with the payments that your patient makes to you in the practice. So this is how it works. You pay a nominal upfront fee. That provides you with your first pair of lenses and subsequent lenses to get that patient happy if the first pair of lenses need modification. Once you have established that the patient is going to be successful, we enrol your patient onto the scheme and we charge your account a monthly fee ongoing. It offers the following benefits to you and the patient. You get a new pair of lenses every 6 months. So we know in soft lenses that we've all kind of taken on the message of shorter is better. But traditionally in gas permeable lenses, we are less likely to be recommending frequent replacement. And some practitioners will look at lenses and just say, oh, they look okay, carry on for a little while longer. We believe that with Ortho-K specifically, you have this very complex reverse geometry design, which has been designed very specifically for your patient. And therefore you want to keep that pair of lenses in the best condition that they can be. So you don't want to have any parameter change from repeated cleaning or any surface scratches or deposits. And that's why we recommend a new pair of lenses every 6 months, and we will provide those with the EyeDream care plan. It also covers patients for 2 lost or broken replacement lenses during the year. You know, we've all had those patients that have popped a lens out, dropped it, and then stepped back and crunched it. So it just gives you the peace of mind to know that they can be replaced without the patient needing to pay any extra money. The initial fit price also includes those 2 free exchanges that get your patient to be successful. We hope that you won't need them, but they're there if you do. And also patients can purchase spare lenses at the cost of the initial fit, and that gives you, again, peace of mind in case of losing a pair or losing a lens. So, number 1 on your journey is choosing the right corneal topographer. EyeDream is a topography-based Ortho-K system. The first time that you use the topographer in the patient journey is to establish that their eye is normal. So you're screening for any irregularities or anything else that you believe will make the EyeDream process less successful. And then once you've done that, you take detailed maps to make sure that we can produce bespoke lenses for each patient. And that is taking data from those topography maps and calculating the curvatures needed in that reverse geometry design to gently flatten the central cornea, and that's the shape that you see here on the topography map. That shape here in this image is beautifully well centered, but if following wear you were to find that that central flattening zone was actually slightly off center, we use the topography maps to monitor the changes, identify decentration, and then we can recalculate lenses that will center better and give your patient a better visual result. When you're considering which topographer to use, you really do need to think about accuracy and consistency, because that's going to give you the very best chance of success with EyeDream lenses. And that's why we recommend the Medmont Meridia. The Meridia is Medmont's next generation corneal topographer, building on the success of the Medmont E300, which is an instrument that they made for many years. Medmont sets the standard for precision and consistency and is widely used in clinical studies, and it combines that with a comfortable design. So this is a relatively small topographer. It sits comfortably on your combi unit on a table. It's just sat on a heavy base with rubber feet, so it doesn't move around and you don't need to drill into your units. It has very intuitive software. You can take topography very easily and you can find the information that you need very easily. It has a very simple user interface and unrivaled image resolution and accuracy. So it's available in 2 models. The Medmont Meridia Classic has an increased field of view of topography over the E300. It has high resolution digital colour imaging for taking the topography. Those images can't be exported. It has an HVID detector and scleral lens simulation. So when you go to invest in a topographer, don't think of it just as an instrument that you'll use for doing Ortho-K. It's an instrument that you'll use an awful lot in regular contact lens practice, specialist contact lens practice, and in dry eye practice. And with the scleral lens simulator, it can show the clearance of a lens over that cornea and also show you the impact that any parameter changes will make on the fit of that lens. And it has ergonomic quick keys on the instrument, so you don't, although you do need to be attached to a computer and a monitor, you don't need to be able to reach that computer at the time of taking the topographers, so you're not messing about with a separate mouse, for example. The Meridia Classic also has the TFSQ, so the Tear Film Surface Quality Analysis videos, which allow you to visualise breakup of the tear film for your own benefit and also for showing the patient what tear breakup looks like. And it has enhanced interface connections. The Pro model has all of those features plus anterior imaging and video that can be exported from the software. So you can use that to attach to your clinical records, or you could use that to print off for the patient or for a referral letter, for example. It also has meibomian gland imaging with infrared and fluorescein imaging and video. Now you can see in this image that we've got a fluorescein pattern of an ortho-K lens on eye, so it's that reverse geometry design with a flatter centre, a steeper mid-peripheral ring in the reverse curve and alignment on the landing on the peripheral cornea, which is very interesting. It's nice to see the bubble in that image. But what I should add at this point is actually you don't need to do fluorescein analysis of EyeDream lenses. Because it's an empirical system, your key to establishing whether it's successful or not is to get the patient to wear the lenses and then look at the follow-up topography. So actually maybe you won't need to be looking at this image. But the fluorescein imaging is incredibly useful for communicating with your lab about regular RGP fits or scleral lens fits. Rather than needing to describe that over the phone, you send the image and the lab can see exactly what you see. It's also very useful for imaging staining, so that could be for your clinical records, or it could be for a referral, or it could be part of dry eye assessment. You can also do tear meniscus height measurement, again for dry eye assessment. And all of those things can be built up to make a dry eye patient screening report. So this is very useful for onward referral, because what it does is it takes all of the data that you've captured from those photographs. It allows you to score them against grading scales, so internationally recognised grading scales that are built into the system. And then you can print off that report with all of that information and with a section which talks about your recommendations. So that could be a section that is asking for a second opinion from a colleague. It could be the recommendations to the patient and you're passing this over to the patient, or it could just be for your records. Now, we all know that patients don't necessarily follow our advice for dry eye complaints. We might give them the best information, the best recommendations for treatments that they can do themselves or drops, etc. And they do them for a little while and then maybe they stop. So what you could use these dry eye reports to show is you could show the patient their baseline, then you show them how it looks after a couple of weeks of treatment, and hopefully that will give them some incentive to make sure that they carry on with the treatment, because they'll be combining what they can see visually with their own improved symptoms. Obviously, if they do cease doing the things that you've recommended, you'll be able to do another report and show them that they're back to baseline. And therefore, that's again that incentive to keep going with the treatment. So the second step is becoming an EyeDream accredited practice. To become an EyeDream fitter, you must be accredited. That's part of the CE approval, is that every practitioner must be accredited. And it's also important for you so you know what you're doing. So with our online training facility, it's available for you to complete at any time. So you're no longer required to come to us for a whole day or to join us at a hotel for an all-day seminar. You can now do this in your own time. The online EyeDream accreditation course consists of 3 modules. The first is the theory of ortho-K. Now, this isn't designed to be a heavy textbook with lots of very detailed, in-depth knowledge. It's really just the amount of theory that you need to understand to be able to follow all of the reasoning why we do the things we do when we're fitting these lenses. It's 5 short video lessons followed by a multiple choice questionnaire. The second module is corneal topography, and this is exactly the same. It's not super heavy on the theory. It's really just helping you focus in on the things that you are actually going to be able to need to be able to do with your topographer, and the features that you need to be able to manage those patients properly. Again, 5 short video lessons followed by a multiple choice questionnaire. And then the last section is fitting OrthoK. This is a webinar session. So this is one session of an hour and a half with either myself or another professional affairs colleague, and it gives you the opportunity to ask questions. We'll give you answers, and we can just make sure that you know what you're doing and that you've understood everything. So the EyeDream online accreditation is designed around your needs. It's convenient. I designed this course with myself in mind, so I imagine that I propped up my iPad in front of the sink and I could watch a short session while I did the washing up. So they're all 6 to 12 minutes long. You could sit down and watch a whole section and take about an hour, or you can do it in those bite-sized chunks, and you can just do that at your own time. It's mobile friendly, so you can complete it on a phone, a tablet, a notebook, or a PC. That means that you could do some while you were commuting, or maybe in between patients if you had a short break. And they're video lessons presented as a PowerPoint, so it means that they're very easy to follow, and it's really easy for you to go back and find a section if you wanted to recap on something because something came up with a particular patient, for example. And as I said, the webinar content is designed so that you can get a really good understanding and you can ask questions. Our support team on the training side are always available to help you with your registration, with accessing the content, and to help you with any other advice. So registering for the online EyeDream accreditation course is easy. You visit this address, you complete the registration form, and then we'll send you your enrolment details in working hours, and you log in and complete the course. The third step is fitting your first EyeDream patient. So once you've become accredited, then you are ready to go with your first patient. So this can be a little bit of an anxious time. Doing anything for the first time is always going to make you feel a little bit worried, but don't worry, we're here to help. Our aim is to help you at every step through the process. If you follow a few common sense rules to build your confidence, you and your patient will soon be speeding along the road to EyeDream success. So we recommend these guidelines for your first few fits. Ask a colleague if they'd like to try EyeDream or be fitted yourself. This is a great way to build your confidence because it means you get to try out all of the new processes that you're going to do, and it also means that you can try out the patter that goes around it. So it will build your confidence. And also, equally importantly, if you fit a colleague or yourself, then the practice has an EyeDream ambassador that prospective patients can speak with, and you can give your experience of how you found sleeping in lenses, what the first few days were like, for example, and that's a very powerful message for the patients. I would suggest targeting patients with relatively low myopic prescriptions. They tend to see the results much more quickly, and that gives you confidence straight away, and you really do get that wow moment. So if you fitted a patient who was around 2 to 2.5 diopters, maybe 3 diopters, they get enough of a change to get that real wow moment, but it isn't so high that it will take quite a few days to get there, which can leave you feeling a little bit nervous if you haven't done it before. Don't be afraid to ask questions. If you have any questions around patient selection or general suitability, you can run that past us in professional services. If you have questions about the EyeDream software or your topographer software, then a colleague can help you with that. And our technical support team on the help desk will be able to help you with specific queries about any patient fits. So what's the journey for your patient? Your patient's first appointment is a prescription check, their topography, and a good slit lamp examination. You're really not looking for anything that you wouldn't be looking for in a normal exam. And the lenses are then ordered via our EyeDream software. So the second appointment. This is the collection appointment. The first thing that you do is put the lenses on eye. If the patient can see well with the lenses in, then you know that the base curve has been calculated correctly. Then from there you can go on to training on lens handling and aftercare. Insertion is directly onto the cornea, as it would be with any RGP, and removal is usually done best with 2 fingers and tiddly-winking the lenses out, rather than a sort of wide stare, single finger and blink, because it can be quite difficult to get the lids either side of the larger lens. The first follow-up appointment is usually, it should be the morning after the first night of lens wear. The prescription will be reduced by about 2 diopters for most patients. So that does mean that your patients who've got slightly higher prescriptions might need some soft lenses to wear in the day for their residual prescription. The second follow-up is 5 to 7 days later. Most patients' prescription will now be fully corrected, but your very high end of the prescription range, so EyeDream goes up to -550, so your sort of 4s to -550s may still have a little way to go, and they'll need a bit of encouragement at that point. At your third follow-up at 10 to 14 days, this will be your final result. So the research tells us that there's no appreciable change after 10 nights. So if there is a residual prescription left, or the lenses aren't centering perfectly, it may be that the patient will need to come back for some more appointments, because we may need to remake some lenses to make those alterations. So front of house training. For all accredited EyeDream practices, we offer online front of house training. That training is perfect for your support staff who want to know how to talk to patients about EyeDream, how to encourage them to investigate it a little bit more, and answer a few of the more straightforward questions. It's also great for practice managers and owners who want to work with the support teams to improve EyeDream communication. Registering for the EyeDream front of house is easy. Again, you visit this website, you fill in the registration form, we check that you're a real person, and then we send out the enrolment details. And then you log in and complete the course, and it's much shorter than the EyeDream practitioner accreditation. So, teamwork does make the EyeDream work. It's important to remember that you're not alone. Whether you need fitting advice, patient management support, or just a reminder of how to send an order, our friendly and experienced team will be there to help. And you can ask us the same query multiple times and we won't get upset. You can ask us queries 10 years after you've been fitting, or 20 years after you've been fitting, and we will still be able to support you. Here are some important contact details. Myself and Ian Sexton for patient management and training queries, the technical support team for fitting and patient management support, and Tony, our topographer specialist for topographer inquiries, equipment and software support. So go on, take the first step, scan this QR code, and that will take you to our web page with more useful information. Go on. Thank you very much.